that was a lot of things when you got a whole lot of new equipment, nobody knows how to operate.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? That is
That's
wild.
wild. That's wild.
That is wild. Look, a whole lot of stuff in here. A whole
No,
lot of
man, that
stuff.
never worked, LB, man. I need something higher.
Huh?
Don't I need something higher? Don't I need like a bar stool or something? You think? I don't want to hurt you, but you know, I just need to lean on it. I don't need to. I do sit, but when I stand, I move around like this, you know. So you know, like, you know.
Please just catch my attention. Don't do what shit do.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
amazed.
yeah. Us young people, we don't understand until it happens to us.
You been doing all right? You been doing all right?
You are young. You are young. You know when they say you is young, and you think you are. But when they say you're young,
Are you right down the street?
people like to come, but they can't come to eat. They come to that. Yeah. He's talking about you, Delvin.
No. Now see, I got a meeting tonight.
So yeah, see, he got to meet tonight, so he can't come tonight. That's the kind of dedication we like around here. They'll be like, I can't make the evening class, I can make the day class.
So I know I won't be here during the evening.
Thank you, Ellery. Pam, I guess I need to. Oh, you pointed it this way, right?
Yeah, unless.
Okay. All right. So I can kind of do this thing here. Let me make sure my mic is on. Words with no church. We are still covering number. We thank you of your word that makes us workmen. We ask that you may God that he will bring us to new generation and continue to reveal to us the things you will have us do. This is where we are. The last few readings, we read. We used to couldn't read more than 4 or 5 verses before the people were rebelling or complaining or something. But we read a few verses. People not complaining. They're not rebelling. Other nations are attacking them for no reason. They are beating these other nations. They're winning. They're on a win streak, and they're happy. When we last left the nation of Israel, they were on the other side of Jordan, and the nation on the other side of Jordan looked over the river, saw how many there were, and said, "Hey, these people are going to take all the land up. We need to beat them now." And so the king's name was Balak the king, sent for Balaam the prophet. Right? All right. Balaam the prophet was told he went to God, the same God that Moses is going to. We discovered that. He went to God, and God said, hey, no, you can't curse these people for Balak, because I've already blessed these people, and so you can't curse them. But Balak the king said, hey, come anyway. God told him to come. We went through this whole thing about the donkey on the road with the angel, and we surmised that Balaam, the prophet, may have had a little something going on because he had been offered riches. He had been offered riches to come and curse the nation. And so we're surmising that he may internally been thinking, I will claim these riches and not be able to bless this thing. But God put the angel in the path to remind him, that he has to only say what God tells him to say. Right? So God has reminded him to only tell the king what he says. Now we're getting ready to read the messages that Balaam, the prophet, tells the king. Because the king wants to curse the nation so that he can go and win the battle, defeat the nation of Israel. He wants to fight. So now we're going to see what God tells the king through Balaam. All right. So this is Numbers chapter 23. Numbers chapter 23. All right. Let's start reading. It says Balaam's first message. Wow, the first message is pretty long, verses 1 through 12. Does anybody want to tackle that?
Okay, I'll read.
Okay, all right, Ms. Dorsey, thank you so much.
On the next day, Balak took Balaam and brought him up to Bamoththal, and from there he could see part of the people of Israel. Then Balaam said to Balak, build me 7 altars here and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me. Balak did as Balaam had said, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, stay here beside your burnt offering while I go inside. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me. Whatever he shows me, I will tell you. And he went to a bare height. Then God met Balaam, and Balaam said to him, I have arranged the 7 altars and have offered a bull and a ram on each altar. The Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, return to Balak, and this is what you must say. So he returned to Balak, who was standing beside his burnt offerings with all of the officials of Moab. Then Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, Balak has brought me from Aram, and the king of Moab from the eastern mountains. Come, curse Jacob for me. Come, denounce Israel. How can I curse whom God has not cursed? How can I denounce those whom the Lord has not denounced? For from the top of the crags I see him, from the hills I behold him. Here is a people living alone and not reckoning itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob or number the dust cloud of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like this. Then Balak said to Balaam, what have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies, but now you have done nothing but bless them. He answered, must I not take care to say what the Lord puts into my mouth?
Okay, all right. Now, here we are. Balaam the prophet has been reminded several times he can only say what God tells him to say, right? God goes and say, hey, look, how can I curse something that God has not cursed, right? Balak is the king, and we talked about this last time. They are a monarchy government where the king rules. The king rules. He's in charge. Israel has been set apart. It said it in what God was saying. Israel is set apart. A theocratic government. They follow God. They follow, right? God tells them theocratic government. They go through how to do it, what they do it on, everything. Balaam, he talks to God. God says, yes, I'm going to, because the Moabites are who they are. They are descendants of Lot. They're descendants from Lot, which is Abraham's nephew. So God looks out for them against most enemies. King's Lord said, but this time, the King of the Lord said, as we will read her curse, King won't take no for an answer. Curse is right. So it seemed very clear to me that Balak had said, the Balaam told Balak, I can't do this. This is God, these people with God can't be done. Right? But Balak the king is not going to take no for an answer. All right? You know how it is when you're used to getting your way. Right? And somebody tells you no. How dare you tell me no? Let me talk to the person over you. That's the first thing we do. Okay, I want to talk to the manager. Okay, yeah, I don't want to even talk to you no more. No. Don't tell me the policy, nothing. I want to talk to the manager because you evidently don't have the power. You are abusing your power. You don't have the power to tell me no. I need to talk to somebody in charge. So this is kind of what Balak is going to do, right? Now, Balaam, as we had surmised, the riches enticed him, right? God said you can go, and Balak the king had already offered Balaam all these riches, so the riches had enticed him. So we surmise that he, in his own self, decided that, man, I will go and claim these riches and not be able to do. He already knew he couldn't do this. In fact, he had told the messenger. This is the second message. It says the first message, but he had sent a group of people that came and said, God said, don't even come. You can't even get what you want. God said, don't even come. And the king sent another group to come get him, right? And what did it say? He traveled from Aram. Balak brought me from Aram to the mountains to show me these people. And how can I curse some people that God does not curse? All right? I see a people who live apart and do not consider themselves one of the nations. This is the church. The modern day, that's what the church is supposed to do. Live apart and not really consider themselves one of the nations. What's the scripture? We are to be in the world, but not of the world. Something like that, right? Okay. So we living in the world, but we are not of the world because we are set apart. And can't nobody go to our God and get us cursed because we are blessed by that same God, right? All right. Let's go on and see, because what did I say? Balak king, he won't take no for an answer. So let's read Balak's second message, which is very long. We are going to divide that up. It's okay. Well, it's about as long as the other one. So we're going to start at 13 and go to 26. Does anybody want to? You attack that? Okay, Miss Whitley.
Stand here by your was the message Balaam delivered. Rise up, Balaam, and listen. Hear me, son of Zippor. God is not a man, so he does not lie. God is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not human, so he does not change his mind. Has he ever spoken and failed to act? Has he ever promised and not carry it through? Listen, I received a command to bless. God has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. No misfortune is in his place for Jacob. No trouble is in his store for Israel. The Lord thy God is with them. He has been proclaimed their king. So God brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel. But now it will be said of Jacob, what wonders God has done to Israel. These people rise up like lions, like a distant lion roaring himself. They refuse to rest until they have feasted on prey and drink the blood of the slaughter. Then Balak said to Balaam, fine, if you won't curse them, at least don't bless them. Then Balaam replied to Balak, didn't I tell you that I can only do what...
Ain't that great? I can only do what the Lord tells me. Right? Now, Balak, the king, said, well, look, let's try it from over here. You know, how and this is oh yeah, in that they mention Israel and they saying these people because God would. Now these are the same people. Yes, they were complainers. They were doing all this stuff, but somewhere in this thing, God said they consider me their king. You read it. God says they consider I am their king, and so they are my people. So whatever, you know, this is a message to the king of the Moabites. Just like you are going to do everything you can for your people, you even thinking about attacking these people because you thinking they're gonna come over and cause trouble. I am their king, and these are my subjects, and I am going to protect them. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, this seems like straightforward message.
This is when Abraham, when the Lord blessed Abraham.
Yes. When the Lord blessed Abraham, he said, I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those that curse you. Right? Now, being I guess, sort of related to Abraham, this must have been working for, for Balak the king, the Moabite king, because they are in Abraham's bloodline. I mean, I don't know, if they are really blood related, because he could have been by marriage. I don't know. He was a nephew. I'm thinking he was a blood relative. They split up. They were in the promised land, and they had a little. The workers had a little feud, and they said, "Hey, look, it'd be better for us to split up. It's plenty of land. Back then, it was plenty of land. Split up. Lot looked over, saw the real good land. Said, I'm gonna take this land over here near Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham said, okay, I'll take this land over here, right? So now Lot's people are probably still in the same spot. They got their land because they're on the other side of Jordan. They're going to mountains looking over into the wilderness where Israel is. But on the other side of the Jordan, they in that land full of milk and honey. And they're saying, man, Israel's coming. And it's a lot of them. It is a lot of them. And we can't, and the king already knew he couldn't beat them. He couldn't go to war and win. That's why he brought Balaam there to curse them so that he could win. so he could have God on his side to defeat them. But God is telling them, just like Moses, when Moses has to go off into the tent and God comes down, talks to him, Balaam goes off, says, okay, you stay here. We did all the offerings and everything. You stay here. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to talk to God, see what God says. They do the same thing that the Israelites do, except the Israelites' king is God. The Moabite king is Balak, and Balak wants to do something that is contrary to God, and he cannot do it. God is telling him he can't do it, but he doesn't give up. He's not giving up, because in his human mind, he is supposed to get what he wants. And sometimes us church people are just like that. I pray for what I want. God is supposed to give it to me. I'm supposed to get it. But I can't pray. And look, the New Testament is totally different, because no matter how mean somebody is, you are not supposed to wish harm on them, right? You're not supposed to do that. We already know you can't pray for somebody that had no heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Or you can't, you pray so, man, let them fall down the steps or something. You can't, we don't say any kind of prayer like that. You know what I'm saying? So thank God we evolved a little bit. But these people are not, they are partly the church. They're not complete. I don't want to say Christians, because Christians are not, but they are not real with God. They like to use God. They know about God. They know how powerful God is, and they want to use him for their own purposes. And God is letting them know, you can't do that. You can't do that. Now, if we had a prophet, we're not, the church is designed to follow God. The church is designed to be just like Israel. We are designed to follow God. We get us a prophet that talks to God, and the prophet comes and tells us what God says, and we say, yeah, okay, let's do this. Okay, we're the people of God. We're going to do this. That's what the church is. That's what the church is. As we talked about Lent was a time when everybody could line up. You know what I'm saying? So God can say, hey, look, tell the people this. He's speaking to all of us. Okay, this is what we're doing, right? This is what we're going to do, right? So when pastor gets up and say, hey, look, we're going to reset, and we're going to change. Things are going to change. There's going to be some dramatic change, because we're doing a dramatic reset, because the way stuff is going now, it's not working right, and we are changing. That's not pastor thinking about it. That's coming from God. That's a word from God. That's the way we take. That's the way the church takes it. Okay, God said this. Now, we can be like Balak and say, hey, pastor, think about it again. Sleep on it overnight. We don't need to change this. We don't need to change that. This is working good. We don't need to change. Sleep on it overnight, and pastor's gonna come back and say, God said, this is what I said. What are you trying to do? We're gonna do what I say we're gonna do. Right? Church is set up like Israel is set up. That's why we can relate, because we complain too, right? And sometimes we rebel. Just sometimes, every now and then we rebel. But anyway, so Balak has tried a second time to get what he wants. And God spoke to him directly, arise, Balak, and listen. This is verse 8. This is verse 18. Arise, Balak, and listen. Hear me. God is not human that he would lie. I done told you the truth already, right? I'm not a human being that he should change his mind. My mind is made up. You're not going to sweet talk me. Is nothing you're going to be able to give me to change my mind. Does he speak and then not act? I have told them over there, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Right? This is coming. This is happening. I have received a command. Okay, this is Balaam said, I have received a command to bless. I will have to bless these people. I cannot curse these people. No misfortune is seen in Jacob, even though they complainers and they rebellious. I was telling you they were getting on this win streak, and we had read a few verses, and they had not complained or rebelled at all. They started to get it. The old generation, all those Egyptian Christians, were dying off, and these were the young wilderness Christians, and they were used to living in the wilderness, so they knew, well, we're going to have to wait on God. There's no use complaining that we ain't got no water. We'll wait on God to give us some water. When we need water, God is going to give us water. We don't have to complain about it. No use complaining about the manna. This is our diet God's given us. If we were supposed to have meat, God would give us meat. This is how they started thinking, right? The other people's like, back in Egypt, we could fish. There was trees. We could get fruit. Stuff. Oh, this is horrible stuff. And we don't have no water. We about to die. These wilderness folks, they did it. Okay. My mama was one of the companions that got killed. My grandfather, you better straighten out. No more sending their armies against them. And these people in a defensive mode and lose offense and beat the bully. The bully comes for them. The old generation didn't want to go into the promised land because they felt the enemies there were going to beat them. And that's verse 27 through the end of the chapter 29. So let's read those real quick. To see what happens. Go to bed, I gotta go to bed, but then that episode 5 ends, so you're like, oh, I have to stay and at least see. So that's where I'm at right now. So I now binge watching, and this was the third message, right? Yeah, this is the third message. So they do the sacrifice and say, I am how Balaam thinks is my changes location. He changed my mind. If you think of it like a child, the child said, hey, Mom, can I go to the movies? Mom said, no. Have you done your homework? No. Okay, you got to do your homework, so, and then we'll see. So then you go, and you, Mom, hey, Mom, I kind of did my homework. Everything's done. Can I go to the movies now? Let me see your homework. Okay, hold on. And so then you do part of it. Oh, man. You do part of it. You do the easy part, and then you leave the hard part right there. And you show, and your mom said, well, what you supposed to do X, Y? Because you thinking answers are going to change. You're thinking if I do something a little different, that I'm going to be able to get what I want because Mom loves me. And she don't mind me going to the movies and having some fun. And she loves me. But Mom loves you enough to make you do your homework and do all of your homework. You don't understand that as a child. But as a grown-up, you understand. Mom did you a favor by not letting you go to the movies and skip out on your homework, right? And so then you start doing it to your children. And then your children start doing it to their children. And that's how stuff gets passed on, right? Now, Israel has gone through all these trials. And like I said, I'm thinking they're starting to get it now. We are with God. Wherever God moves, whatever God says, we're going to do it. The Moabites have not been through like that. They still the little child Christian. They still a little baby Christian going to God, oh God, please. You know, if I can squeeze some tears out, maybe you'll feel some sympathy. You know, I'm going to look at you with the sad eyes. I'm going to do, expecting the answer to change because they're going to appeal. They're trying to appeal to you. What did Balak say? Maybe God will be pleased at this new location, right? Pleased enough to change his mind, right? All right, we're gonna go to Numbers 24. I don't, let me see, I got time right here. Oh, we got 30 minutes. Oh, we good. All right, I hope 7 o'clock goes as easy as 12 o'clock. No, Andrew does the 7. But, I'm going to have to leave a message to say, Andrew, we did 23 and we moved into 24. So, if you want 7 o'clock and keep up, you might have to do the same thing. I'm just saying. All right. Verse 1, chapter 24. Okay, they set up the altars at this new location that the king wanted to set up, right? And usually, Balaam goes, and what does he do? He goes and says, you stay here. And I'm gonna go and talk to God, right? All right, let's see what he says. Verse 1, let's read 1 through. This is long. 1 through 10, 13. Okay, yeah, let's read down through 14. 1 through 14, long readings. Yeah, keep reading. Yeah, down to through 14.
And Balaam said unto Balaam, spake I not also to thy messengers which thou sentest unto me, saying, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord, to do either good or bad of mine own mind. But what the Lord saith, that will I speak. And now, behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days.
Okay.
Took up his parable. Did you say stop?
Stop at stop at 14. End of 14. Go. Yeah, finish 14. Right. That's what I thought.
Behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days.
Okay. All right. So Balaam didn't even approach God about cursing Israel, right? He just went off and started looking, and God came upon them, and he was able to see Israel the way God sees Israel. He was able to see the church the way God sees the church, right? And how the seed was going to grow and flourish and come forth, and waters was going to come out, and stuff was going to, and he's telling the king. I mean, he's really talking. He's just talking. He's looking and he's talking, and the king is listening, right? Because he didn't go off like it before. He just went and started looking, and he was able to see clearly what God is seeing. And that made the king mad. Because the king, because what did it say? It said, oh yeah, these people are going to take over. These are God's people. They're going to take all this. Oh man, this is what I'm seeing. It's sort of like the vision that who was it had that vision on the Isle of Patmos? That was John. Was that John that had the vision about the Revelation? In the Revelation, and he saw the churches and all that. And so this is sort of the same thing. You're getting to see how God is seeing it, right? He actually started to see how God was seeing it, right? And so what happens? What happens? He does not get the money, right? He was promised the money. Come and bless the people. God first told him, don't even go with him. He said, I'm not even going to go. He sent him back. He offered more money. Oh, please come. Please. God said, okay, go ahead, but only say what I'm going to say, right? Now we see that I have promised to say only what God has said, and this is what I'm doing, right? Even though I could have told you anything. See, look, people who don't have direct contact to God, people who don't have direct contact, you can tell them anything, right? God said this. And then your faith is in the person's talking, not in God, the person talking. Your faith is in the person talking. Moses is the leader that he is. He speaks the word of God. He tells the people what he says happens. Now people have faith in what Moses says because they know Moses is getting it from God, right? Balaam had the same kind of confidence from Balak. He could have told Balak anything and then said, give me my money. The deed is done. I'm going to go back home with my money, right? Knowing that the Moabites were going to attack, knowing that they were going to get slaughtered, and nobody was coming back to get their money. Nobody was going to be asking for their money back because they were all going to get. That's a sweet. if I was watching a TV show, that would be a great plan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a great plan. But God says, no, you tell them straight up that it's nothing they're going to be able to do. They are going to get slaughtered, and you don't need to get paid for that. You don't need to get paid for telling the truth, right? Don't go in there faking to get the money. Go in there and tell them exactly what I said, because they need to know. They need to know. Now, we're gonna read further along, because the king don't give up. King don't give up, right? He now understands that. Well, look, we got 2 more messages. 6th message, 7th message. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little ambivalent here about going on, because we will finish chapter 24. But Andrew did say that he initially wanted to do all 3 of these chapters, 22, 23, and 24 together, because the story is all connected. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let's go ahead and finish 24, since we got time. And we just heard. Let me see. Okay, now Balaam's 4th message, right? Verse 15 through 19. Yeah. No, because my Bible splits it up to a 5th message, and then a 6th message, and then a 7th message. I got 7 messages. Yeah, that's what my Bible says. So we're gonna do 15 to 10. Yeah, go stop at 9 at the end of 19. Well, let me go ahead and read. I'm gonna go ahead and read as soon as my Bible. Hold him, but not near. Will come out of Jacob. A scepter will rise out of Israel. He will crush the foreheads of Moab, the skulls of all the people. This go back, and he's in the trance. He's still speaking, right? Because God's got him in that place where he's seeing his message, right? Amalek was first among the nations, 20, but the end was 20. Then Balaam saw Amalek. The 6th message. And he saw the Kenites and spoke his message. Your dwelling place is secure. Your nest is set in a rock. Yet, you Kenites will be destroyed when God does this. Then Balaam got up and returned home. And Balak went his own way. Now that's the end of 24. So he actually got here. He tried to cut off. He said, hey, you're bad. He doesn't say house of might have to change the plan to what it's going to happen. Yes, ma'am. It's not going to be able to get beat because the future of mankind, I can't hurt. That's why Israel plan changed, but the will of God will be done. His will be done. We don't act right? As it is in heaven. But it's the difference between the will and the plans. The plan can change. They won't do it. But does it mean mean somebody else is not going to be sitting on this floor that I'm going to class after I finish this God's will be done. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to act right. Somebody's going to step. But I'm here doing what I'm doing. So God's will don't have nothing to do with it, right? If I'm following God, his will is going to get done. And I kind of forgot my point for telling y'all all this. But God's will is going to get done. His plans change, right? He'll change your plans. He'll change, my plans. Class. I was telling y'all about Vacation Bible School. Okay. I told Pastor, so my tribulation is once I leave, right? All this work that I have put into the Vacation Bible School and all that stuff, I'm going to be done. Go away. Don't know what's the plan. He's not going to let it go away. God is your point. I had taken my kids to Florida one year, and I'm in Disney and buying souvenirs and stuff, and they're ringing me up, and it's this elderly gentleman who's bagging up my stuff, and he's talking to me. Hey, where you from? Oh, I'm from Washington D.C. This and that. I said, hey, where you from? He says, I'm from Minnesota. Right? Working in Disney World in Florida, right? He said, oh yeah. He says, it's too cold in Minnesota in the wintertime. Because I'm down there, it's December. It's November, December. That's when I'm down there, right? Because, I like to go to warm places. When it's too cold in Minnesota. So I come to Florida and live